Way to spice up the video, ladies.
I don't know what to say.
Ladies of many words.
I don't like being put on the spot.
Well, hey everybody, it's Amanda.
And I'm Tangie.
And these are our lovely girls. This is Brianna.
Hi.
And this is Emily. Apparently she doesn't know how to talk.
So we are talking about friendship. Tangie and I have done a couple of videos that you guys missed. We talked about how to make friends and how to be a friend. But in this video, we're going to talk about how to keep friends. Because, of course, Tangie and I are best friends. And Em and Brianna are best friends.
We get along sometimes.
All right, this is why they need a lesson on keeping friends, okay? Because the sarcasm there, that's not how you keep a friend, girl. So, we have a list that we're going to talk about, and you're going to see part of it on our channel, and then you're going to see part of it on Tangie's channel. So, I'm going to link up at the top to her channel, and you guys can go check her out and subscribe and check out the other parts of our series. And so, let's talk about keeping friendships. So, the first thing that we said was be loyal.
Absolutely.
Loyalty, top of the list.
Yeah. And for me, I know loyalty means that if you are in the presence of someone who maybe is not a fan of your friend, that it's a good time to step up and maybe say something.
Preach.
Yes.
Tangie's she's tough that way. She's like, you ain't talking about my friend. But no, we really haven't had much opportunity to deal with that. But I think it's just that willingness to stand up for the other person. But loyalty is so many levels. It's not just being there to stand up for them. Loyalty is about standing with them.
Right.
Like when they walk through difficult circumstances. Because I know that you and I, just over the past several years, we've had a lot of health challenges and, different things within our families. And, a good friend isn't just there for the good times.
Right.
They're there in those difficult times, and they walk through that journey with you, and they're supportive to you even when it's not convenient for them. Even when they want to be happy and they don't want to deal with all that. They're still there, and they are got a kind word. A lot of our local friends, and I know you have this too, they'll bring a meal, they'll come help fold laundry. Like, loyalty is on a lot of different levels. It's not just there to stand, but it's there through the tedious, through the hard times. Loyalty is a big thing in terms of keeping a friend. Be that loyal one.
Right. And it doesn't necessarily mean that a lot is going to be required of you. I know sometimes, and that's something that we'll talk about later, with, the amount of attention somebody might need. But sometimes just knowing that you're there is enough.
Have you guys had any opportunity to deal with loyalty or people who weren't loyal and how it impacted your friendships?
I think one of the things that I've encountered the most in having to be loyal to a friend is, like, if they're going through something hard and it really puts a damper on their spirit, so they don't act like themselves at all. They completely change, but they'll get back to themselves. They're just dealing with a lot. Then it's really hard to kind of maintain the type of friendship you've had with them once they if they're acting kind of weird. But you just have to let them know that you understand and that you're not really going to go anywhere because of it.
I appreciate that kind of loyalty.
And it's true, because sometimes when people go through a hard time, how everyone kind of deals with that in their own way could, like she said, kind of change their personality. Sometimes people lash out and say things that they don't mean or normally say, and that is tough. And but like she said, good friends, okay, I know this isn't you talking. I know this is what you're feeling, what you're going through. I'm here for you. We ain't got to be like that. Again, going back to having boundaries. But I'm here for you. What can I do to help you? Can I pray for you? Do you want to go get some coffee?
And notice when it's anger or when it's hurt. Because I know I've dealt with a lot of people who have been genuinely angry and lashed out, and a lot of people who have been so hurt and they don't know how to express it. So that's kind of their cry for help. Is I'm really upset, and they just go crazy, but it's really them just saying, hey, something's wrong and I need you to notice me.
Okay, so we're going to keep a friend by being loyal. We're going to keep a friend by being gracious. I think that really speaks to what you were just talking about in terms of understanding what a person's going through and just being kind about it regardless of how it's impacting you. Just being willing to be gracious. I really think you gave the perfect example of someone who might be lashing out. I think we've all dealt with that.
Yeah.
And that goes to the next one, which is about forgiving.
Yeah.
You know, just, you don't have, the people are so quick to take offense nowadays. I mean, you see that on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
Like
We read y'all's comments. No.
somebody puts the wrong thing and they immediately want to take offense to it. And, you know, and frankly, because I am of a practical nature, sometimes I'll type something and mean it very sincerely, and someone might take it sarcastically. One time I wrote a message to someone who was going through something difficult, and I said, "Oh, poor, you know, person." I said their name, and she really thought I was being sarcastic. She was like, "Are you being sarcastic?" I was like, "No, I meant it genuinely. I know you're going through something difficult, and I'm very sad for you." But it's just, you know, you got to remember that the way you can't really communicate tone online,
Right.
So you've really got to be forgiving and gracious and understanding,
Or through text.
through text. Yes.
Yeah, I would say to that, part of being gracious is being willing to call that person and to hear their voice, or to go to that person and see the look on their face and say, what did you mean by that? Because the last thing you want is to have the opportunity to allow grudges or any sort of negative feelings to fester. And because that, again, it's a breeding ground for ruining a friendship.
Especially with texting people, when you can't hear their tone, you can't see their face. Miscommunication has been the downfall of so many friendships and relationships in this day and age. It's, you really need to be more open to actually talking to that person.
Right. Yeah, we were actually talking about how, you know, social media has been great for friendships, but at the same time, it's been very detrimental to relationships because of that.
Well, I think the other thing that we said was willing to work things out, which is related to that. And I think that's exactly what you were saying, is willing to call the person. But sometimes, you know, it's difficult when, you know, maybe there has been offense. Maybe someone, you know, did speak out of turn, or maybe there has been some kind of offense. And if you're really going to keep a friendship, and you'll know when the friendships are valuable and something that you're willing to work things out, but you need to be willing to work it out. You know, you need to be willing to put in the effort and say, you know what, I don't know where we got off on the wrong foot here, but let's get back to where we were, you know, and try to figure out what the root cause was. And maybe it is that someone's just going through a hard time and hurt, or, you know, but be willing to put the effort in, because, you know, people do go through a lot of different things, and if you're going to keep a friendship that's valuable, that you've had for years, and you might just be going through a hard time because they're struggling or you're struggling, be willing to step in and work that out. So the next one that we're going to talk about is be a good person. You know, if you want to keep a friendship, you have to be the one.
Yes.
Don't be shady.
Don't be shady. Don't be shady.
But be the one who is willing to be good and go the extra mile. And I think sometimes people expect the other person in the friendship to always be the one to do the things.
Yeah.
You have to be the one willing to put in some effort. Just like willing to put in the effort to forgive, you have to put in the effort to make it good.
Right.
You know, Tangi and I talked a lot about how friendships mirror your marriage. You know, and I know you guys are young ladies and you're thinking in the future of being married, but one of the things in terms of being married is that you have to put work into it if it's going to work, and you can't always expect the other person to cater to you. You have to be willing to put in the effort and make it a joyous relationship for them.
Right.
So it's the same thing with a friendship. You know, you have to put the effort in and try to do nice things for one another. I know we're here, you guys are doing something nice for one another. What you want to tell the people what you guys are doing?
I'm taking Emily's senior pictures.
Yep. So Brianna's using her skill.
I was going to hold the camera up, but it fell.
Brianna's using her skill to try to be a blessing to Emily. And Emily is trying to encourage Brianna by coming and having her take the pictures.
Yeah, I think Emily also gave her some gifts too.
I know.
As a thank you.
I told her not to. But I appreciate it.
And then that goes along with being a good person. You know, be appreciative.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. I think appreciation is ginormous in keeping your friends. Just, again, just that take and never being saying thank you or I appreciate you. That's a really great way to kill a friendship.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this part 1 of Keeping Your Friends. Go to Tangie's channel. Again, it will be linked in the description box. I linked at the top at the beginning. Go check her out, and we're going to have part 2. We're going to talk about all the other things that you can do to keep your friendships so that you guys can just be filled with the joy of having friends surrounding you in your life. So,
Friends are important.
they are.
They are.
All right, so come hang out with us there, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.